welcome back to the Social Butterfly Podcast. I'm Bri. We have our first guest on the podcast. Hi.
Hello.
Do you want to tell the people who you are?
I am Alec, and I am the Social Butterfly's husband.
Yes. How does it feel to be our first guest ever?
Scary.
Is it scary?
It's intimidating.
You don't do things like this. Have you ever been interviewed?
No.
Like on a microphone?
No.
God, so it's your first time. Wow.
Famous.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. So I wanted Alec to be the first guest, number one, because he's my husband and proximity. Well, actually not proximity. That's
True.
A lie, which we'll get into. But I just wanted you to be the first guest because it's, we have a lot to talk about. And
because I'm so interesting.
Yes, you're the most interesting person I know. That's why. So first, I wanted to ask you about what you think about this whole thing.
It's intimidating.
Well, not just you being on the podcast, but like me.
No, just in general.
Just
like the idea of it
starting
is kind of crazy. But
what did you think when I told you I wanted to start a podcast?
I was surprised, but not like shocked. It seems like something that you'd just be naturally good at with being a social butterfly. I said the name.
He's really branding us here. Good job. When did I can't even remember when I told you. It was a while ago.
You said it was a while ago, but then when you
don't
talked about
remember
it
anything.
like a few months ago, I had never heard of it, so.
I know I told you like at least a couple years ago, but you have no recollection of that?
Not at all.
No? Okay.
None whatsoever.
But I did tell you a few months ago.
Yeah.
And what, you were just surprised?
Yeah. But I think it, like we've talked about, it's a good like creative outlet and like you're something you're passionate about and something you are really good at with like talking to like people
just
and
talking
interviewing
in general. It's something I'm really good at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think it took me a while to tell you because I was really nervous. I mean, you knew how nervous I was about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it helps. I mean, I didn't think you'd be anything but encouraging, but I think that like helped give me a little nudge when I finally told you and you were like, yeah, you should do that. Or like you were supportive of it, I guess. So let's talk about us a little bit.
Okay.
Do you want to tell the people how we met? Do you remember how we met?
Of course. Yeah. The day I fell in love.
Okay. See, he says that every time when we talk about this, and I, like, it's not true.
Well, that's what you think.
But it's nice that
that's what you
think so. You can just give the abridged version of how we met.
So we met the first weekend of college, like before classes even started, just at a party with mutual friends. And I would say it was very just like a casual meeting of we kind of knew who each other were, but never had actually met.
Yeah.
But like chatted and
just became friends.
Yeah.
Because we didn't start officially, or we didn't go on a date, I guess, until the end of freshman year. Like dead week, I think.
Yeah.
Like
I think the week before, like the Friday before dead week, maybe.
Yeah. So we were like just friends for a while until we started dating. Yeah. And now we've been together
10 and some change.
Almost 10.
Almost 10, right. We've known each other 10 and some change.
Yeah.
10 and a half. So we'll come up on June 11th.
Is that? I thought it was June 12th.
No, I think it's the 11th.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. I mean, technically that's like a secondary date for us to remember now, so.
Yeah. That's like tertiary even.
Tertiary. Is that third?
Yeah.
Oh. So together almost 10 years. Married.
4.5 almost.
We'll be 5 this year.
Which is insane.
I know. It's kind of, that's weird to say that we've been married for 5 years. I feel like we're too young to have been married for 5 years.
Well, not even that. I think it's just weird that like it feels like we've been together for so long, but like to say, oh yeah, it's 5 years, like, oh wow, that's like a huge milestone, but it doesn't, I don't know.
Doesn't feel like it's been that long.
No.
I feel like we just got married.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever think about, like, do you think we were really young when we got married? Like,
No.
You don't think so?
No, we were 23.
23, 24, which
Yeah.
at the time I didn't think we were. We were the first of any of our friends to get married.
Yeah.
I
Of like
think-
our close friends.
Yeah, we had, yeah, because we have like a couple people that we're friends with who had gotten married like maybe the year before.
Mm-hmm.
But like weddings that we were in wise, we
Mhm.
were the first ones. But I didn't think really anything of it
No.
because we'd been together 4 years by the time we got engaged,
Mm-hmm.
5 by the time we got married. But now that I think about, because like my brother is the age that we were when we got married.
Mm-hmm.
And if I think about him getting married right now, I'm like, he's too young. He doesn't need to get married. But
I don't know. I don't think it's that crazy.
really, I don't
No.
know. I just, the more I've been thinking about it lately, and I feel like the older we get, the more I'm like, wow, we were kind of young. But also like, in the terms of like the Midwest, it was not that young.
No. I'd say it was like average.
Yeah. Because, I mean, our other friends
Maybe
got
on the-
married the next year.
Yeah. Maybe on the lower side of average, I guess. But
Mhm.
like, just total guess, I would assume average would be like 25, 26.
Yeah. It's just, I think it's just strange too because we still have friends getting married just
Mhm.
like consistently throughout the last 5 years. So then I feel like that is what kind of makes me think too, like, oh my gosh, were we like really young when we got married?
Yeah.
Because I just feel like we've had multiple weddings every year since then.
That's true.
And I was going to say like we were the only one that year, but it was also COVID. So that kind of played a
Yeah.
part in it too. I feel like there probably would have been more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've been together almost a decade. Of that decade, 4.5 years of it have been long distance in some capacity. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So are you counting like in college? Like the summers?
Oh,
That we
no,
were in
I wasn't even
distance?
counting that, but I guess
Well,
we could
those
go
are-
all the way back to that because
Those
we
are
kind of
less intense, but
we still kind of we started our relationship long distance, technically.
yeah, a couple hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was in Ames, you were back home, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And then the summer I spent in Phoenix. Then I spent the summer in Omaha.
Yeah. So every summer it was long distance.
Mm-hmm. And
And
once
then,
we started working,
yeah, I graduated early
mm-hmm,
and
you-
moved here, and you were still in school.
mm-hmm, for another semester. And
Mhm.
then I got assigned to the project out in Grand Island, where I spent just under 3 years, which is actually the closest we've ever been for long distance.
Yeah, that's
That was
true.
only
And
about
that's
an hour
when
and
we
a half.
got engaged and married, long
Mhm.
distance.
Yeah.
We've been married like 6 months before we finally lived together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we lived together for 2 years.
I forget when we moved into this house.
2021.
It was actually, it would have been 4 years ago, and like yesterday, I think, or the day before, maybe. So
Yeah,
like
it was
time
like
hop.
almost right on the date.
Yeah.
And so we moved into this house in 2021. We lived here for 2 years, because on our 3rd year is when you moved.
Yeah. But almost to the date that I would have moved.
Yeah, so almost 3
So
years.
almost 3 years. Yeah.
And then you moved.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this has been the hardest stretch?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know if it's just like with having created the habits and, the comfort and
Yeah.
like before it was all, we were dating, we were getting into our careers, and like I was going to do a job or a project where I was like, okay, yeah, it's just this, and then like it's just part of it, and then we'll get married, we'll move in together.
Eventually.
Turned out in that order,
Eventually.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not on
right.
purpose, but
No.
but
Just
now,
to be clear, we definitely would have lived together if we hadn't been
Yeah.
long distance.
We did for like a month when I first
Oh,
started
yeah,
working.
that's
When I
right.
was,
Yeah,
you were in Lincoln, I was driving to Omaha.
that was
So
crowded.
a little bit.
Us and Frankie.
Uh-huh. Yeah, this has definitely been the hardest. And honestly, I like when people ask how it's been, I say like, oh, I think it's been easier than we thought it would be.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, that's we've talked about it where it helps. Like we've been able to do some more traveling and seeing some friends, and
I think we got to travel more this year because like you had weekends that you were going to be flying anyway.
yeah, like the built-in whether we were coming, I was coming home or we were going somewhere else. Like we were going to be together, so it helped kind of enable that a little bit more.
Yeah, made it easier to say yes to things to travel because it like you were going to be doing it anyway. And that's been really nice too because we like went to Chicago, Arizona, California,
Iowa.
yeah, Iowa. But we just have gotten to see a lot more people, and I think that has, like, you being gone has been part of that. But do you think like any good has come out of this?
Yeah, I mean just the kind of the for reassurance that like we have the strength to do something like this, and that it like we're not, our relationship isn't based off proximity.
Yeah. Well, because we're already like good communicators like before this, and I think our time of long distance before that also helped that, but I think that's been a big part of it that has made it easier. Because like we don't talk, I mean we talk every day, but sometimes there's days where we're only able to talk for like 10-15 minutes when I drive home from work.
Yeah.
And we might not talk on the phone the rest of the time, and we don't really text.
No, just the check-ins, the periodic good morning, how's your day. That's about it.
Yeah. But I mean, we've always been good at like doing our own thing too. Or not doing our own thing, but like, I mean, we've talked about it before, but like in college, we didn't start dating until the end of freshman year. And so we had already established like friend groups and like things that we were a part of. And so we weren't like together every waking moment.
Yeah,
even
we kind of had our own things going on, and like we were both very like involved in different programs or groups or whatever that was, so that kind of helped keep us.
I think
I'm trying to think of the right word.
I think it's like healthy.
Yeah, a healthy independence.
A healthy, I like that. A healthy independence. Yeah, that's good. And we're like that even when we live together too. I mean, like there'll be nights where like I'm upstairs reading and you're like down here, and sometimes just watching TV, but like gaming or something. You know, we have like things that we do separately. But I think that has helped too. That I mean, obviously we like to be together. That's why we're married. But
yeah,
like it wasn't as like detrimental to us to not be around each other. What do you think the hardest part's been?
For me, it's been the like not being home and like being with you.
Yeah.
Like even from like a unwinding or like stress relief side, like with work, I get put under kind of a lot of stress or take on a lot of stress. So like it's going home alone to not really have anything going on or anybody to talk to or just spend time with has been tough.
Yeah, not even, I was going to say, because, I mean, you'll talk about things when they're difficult, but I feel like you just like the proximity of like a comforting person.
You just
like,
help take my mind off of things.
Yeah. Do you think it's harder with Remy too?
Yeah.
We did kind of start out rocky with the pet situation.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
That sucked.
Yeah, with losing Frankie.
Yeah, like three months in, I think it was. Last May. That poor Uber driver from the airport. I think about that sometimes still. like,
He was very nice.
Do you think he knew? I mean, if you're taking someone straight from the airport to a vet's office, do you think he knew something bad was happening?
It came up at one point.
Oh, did it?
Like, I forget what, how exactly it came up, but I told him because he was a very nice guy, so we like talked about kind Like we got into like our lives almost because I mean you got an hour in an Uber,
Yeah,
and
that's
he's a
true.
pretty talkative guy.
Yeah.
I mean you probably have to be to pick somebody up for an hour in an Uber.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. Yeah.
but I forget how it came up. But yeah, it did come up, and it wasn't like weird or anything like that. He was just
Hmm.
very sympathetic.
Yeah.
So.
That was really hard on me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you came home that Saturday and then you had to leave like right away.
Yeah, I think I left that Monday morning,
Mm-hmm.
like first thing.
Yeah. So we started out a little rough. I think that made it harder.
Oh, definitely.
100%. Because
Yeah.
I'm not going to cry. We're not crying already. We can't cry on episode 2. Okay, I'm
Good
fine.
luck with that.
Listen, I went into this knowing that I was probably going to cry at some point over something, just because
It's authentic.
that's my emotional reaction to literally anything. But anyway, but I think that because this summer, I feel like was the hardest for me, even though we were traveling a lot. But I think that's why it was hard for me too, because we'd go and we'd have like fun weekends in different places, and I'd see you and I'd see friends and blah blah blah, and then I'd come home, and not only am I alone again, but then I mean obviously Remy's great and keeps me on my toes and is like a great companion
Yeah.
to have, but like
That something was missing.
it was
Two
quieter.
somethings.
It was quieter because he was so loud.
Mm-hmm.
Frankie was so talkative. I made you that voicemail that I found on my phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of you like yelling at him
Mm-hmm.
or talking to him, I guess.
I yelled at him plenty. So
He yelled back.
yeah,
So
he started it.
it was a give and take. But I think that this summer was hardest because of the two things like combined, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we've learned anything about each other?
Not really, or like not. I
I
feel
already
like
know all there is to know about you.
We had a pretty good idea of who we were and like with the communication that we talked about. Like
Yeah.
I feel like we're in a pretty good spot already.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd say we really. I have anything specific that I can call out like, oh, I learned that this year because of this.
Yeah. I think
Do you?
I think I've just learned like as far as that like proximity thing for you to like decompress.
Mm.
Because I've noticed like when you come home and we're able to be home, you sleep a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just because you're like comfortable and
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the go constantly.
mm-hmm.
Like even when I'm home at like away, it's not like really a relaxing setting.
Mm-hmm.
Like I relax, but not the same where I'm home and there's always things running through my mind. So
You know, one thing that I've like thought about is that a lot of people that we know who are married have said like, oh, I could never do what you guys are doing. But I definitely think it was easier for you to say yes because we've done it before.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I never had any doubt that we couldn't do it. Like
Yeah.
I knew it was going to not be ideal, obviously, and
Right.
like there were going to be times that sucked or were better than others, but
Mhm.
never had any doubt that we could do it.
Yeah, me either. I think it was more so, yeah, that we knew it would not be ideal.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think, I mean, I guess we never really fight that much anyway.
No,
We don't really fight.
no, just
like,
over the little
Bicker
like,
sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think that's because we're both very stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't think it's made us fight anymore.
No, definitely not.
But I think that also just goes back to like the communication.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say I think it's cool that we can say we did it because like I would have preferred to not do it at all.
Yeah, well, it's still like proof that we're able to, and
Mm-hmm.
like I said, we're kind of strong enough to do it, and like our marriage can withstand that, and our relationship can withstand that.
Our
So
marriage can withstand. Does that feel kind of weird to say?
no,
Or not weird.
it's been almost 5 years, so get used to it.
I know, but it's just like it sounds like I know we're adults, obviously, but like it just sounds like such a adult thing to say.
We just
But-
babysat our friend's 6-month-old last night.
That's
so
true, and we rocked at it.
time to grow up.
Well, and that's the other thing too. Like, I feel like when you get back, people are gonna start asking about kids even more.
Yeah,
I feel like they've
probably.
started asking more recently anyway, just because we are approaching. Well, we're approaching 5 years of being married, and we're approaching 30.
Mm-hmm.
So the two things coupled. But I feel like once you get back, people are just gonna expect us to have a kid right away.
Maybe.
I just feel like they will. But I don't. I mean, we've talked about this, but it would be nice for you to come back and we can just be like married for a little bit. Like just
Still married. Just
no, but just like be married, the two of us.
yeah.
Just because I mean we've talking about our marriage withstanding things. We've gone through a lot of things in our very short time of being married.
Mm-hmm.
Like kind of right out the gate, we had stuff thrown at us.
Yeah, definitely.
So it would be nice to maybe, even if it's just a few months, to just like either not be dealing with any sort of big news or recuperating after big news or big life events. You know?
Yeah. It's just
'Cause it-
kind of
'cause
comes,
if you-
comes with seasons of life, though.
I know, but damn, we got all 4 seasons in like a very short amount of time.
We're used
I
to
mean,
it as
you-
Midwesterners.
I mean, haha. But like you have to admit that like we've been through more in our like not even 5 years of marriage than some people go through in an entire marriage.
Yeah. There's a lot of short marriages out there.
Yes, but that's not my
Yeah, we've got a lot of compressed events, life events that
yeah.
we've gone through together.
Mm-hmm. In a very short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I like obviously having a baby would be a positive life change. But
Allegedly.
well, so they say. But like it'd be nice to just have a couple month stretch of just like we're just married to what's the term for the
Thanks.
dinkwads?
Oh yeah,
Have you heard
dinkwads with
have
the
you heard
dog.
the wads, dinkwads, double income, no kids, with a dog.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be nice to just like live that for just like a few months.
You're just trying to find a way to adopt another dog.
I do want another dog. That one at the Humane Society, if he had still been there, if you were here,
That would have been tough.
I think we would have gone and gotten him, truly.
Mister was pretty cute.
He was so cute. He was a silver lab, same age as Remy. I think would have really helped with her like resocialization. Oh my god, yeah. No, we would have had to get a fenced in yard for sure. Just to let them out and run and everything. But it wouldn't have been it wouldn't have been undoable. Is that a word? Not undoable.
I don't think that's the word we're looking for.
It's not that we couldn't have done it, but it would have been chaotic. So it's probably best that we didn't go get him. But he's not on their website anymore, so I think he's gone. Do you think we'll
adopted,
get
gone. In a good way.
Well, yeah, adopted. Do you think we'll get a second dog before we have a kid?
Probably not. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
What
Have
if
to be the right dog is the biggest
what if
thing.
just
So
like the weekend you come home? Well, like that was a rare one because labs I feel like are not often at humane societies in general, and then a silver lab.
mm-hmm.
Although I know for a fact, I'm sure he was there because he was too high energy for whoever got him.
Yeah. Just the description. Like you could tell they were trying to say he's crazy without saying he's crazy.
Which I mean, I
Which is
think
fine.
that's just part. We've gone through that, so we know how to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
But and since he's older, I feel like it would have been easier, and it would have helped with Remy's like socializing. I think if we got a second dog, I think that would help a lot. Her like constantly being around another dog would help.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Could create too strong of a bond with that second dog, though.
Well, I don't think so, though.
Some dogs have that issue.
I know, but like when she's around like Cozy, or when she's, well, I mean, she's always been fine with Gracie.
Mm-hmm.
When she was around like Maddie's dog Hobie, like when she was around those other dogs, like if she's around them for long enough to like get acquainted, she's totally fine.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just getting
She's a
used to
friendly
being.
dog.
She is. No, she is. But I think it's just like getting used to being around the same type of energy that she gives out.
Yeah.
Because like with Hobie, like he was a puppy, and she was not used to being around puppies. So Remy had a traumatic experience not too long ago, and it has kind of made her a little wary of new dogs.
I think she does fine.
He thinks I'm lying, but you're not here with her all the time.
You're just more emotionally aware for the dog too.
I am. I'm just more sensitive to like how she's reacting to things.
Just more sensitive. You could have just said more
that
sensitive.
Too. There's something I want to start doing to end these. And I'm not sure how it'll go, but you get to be the guinea pig for it.
Let's try it out.
But what do you think? Do you think you've had, you know what a butterfly effect is? Or you know what the butterfly effect is?
No.
Well, it's like really?
No.
Oh.
I don't know what it actually means.
It's like the concept
I'm sure I knew
like,
at one point, but
if a butterfly like flaps its wings across the world, it can create like a tsunami on the other side of the world.
Oh.
So like the thought is like one little thing can happen that can change like everything, that can make like a big impact.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think? I was gonna do like your butterfly effect of like your life, but that's kind of big. What about like in the last year? Do you think you've had a butterfly effect moment?
Like I've had a butterfly effect moment on something, or something's had a butterfly effect moment on me?
No, like a decision that you've made has been like your butterfly effect moment.
That's a good question.
Maybe I should have told you before, so you could have thought about it.
Wouldn't hurt.
Well, that's why I'm testing it out on you.
You're gonna get an authentic butterfly effect moment, though.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of a really easy answer considering what we've been talking about, but
Well, I was trying to think of something else, but like that, because that's the obvious one of, taking this opportunity for work and traveling.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably going to be it.
That's fine.
We're going to default to that one.
That's okay, because I feel like in the grand scheme of the whole past year, that has probably been the biggest one.
Yeah.
Not to say that that was a small decision, because it really wasn't, but like,
mm-hmm.
It's had the biggest impact.
Yeah. I mean, in the grand scheme, it was a small decision. It was what's next for work kind of thing.
Yeah.
But obviously, larger impact than the usual what's next for work. So.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I think that's all I had for you.
Well, thank you for having me on. It's been an absolute honor.
Was it hard?
No, it's just talking.
Yeah, we're
to my wife.
We're pretty good at that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate you being my first guest.
Appreciate you.
Being my guinea pig for my questions. Love you.
I love you too.
We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.